what if I'm not an extrovert like you, right? If I had $1 for every time somebody said that, ooh-wee, I'd pack it up. I wouldn't be doing these videos anymore. I'd be on the beach somewhere in Tahiti, right? I think some people are confusing being introverted with being insecure. The two are not the same. But think about it. As I'm talking to you right here, it's just me in the camera, right? Like whether I'm an extrovert or an introvert, I can't interact with you on the other side of a pre-recorded video. So to say, oh, I can't show up online or I can't show up on a video because I'm introverted really doesn't make any sense. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things, but I do it because I'm passionate about helping you turn your success story into a 6- or 7-figure brand. And one question that I get a lot where people count themselves out of the running is they say, but Courtney, what if I'm not an extrovert like you, right? If I had $1 for every time somebody said that, ooh-wee, I'd pack it up. I wouldn't be doing these videos anymore. I'd be on the beach somewhere in Tahiti, right? If I had $1 for every time somebody asked me that, because there is this assumption that you must be an extrovert in order to build your brand online, but nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, you can be very successful in building your online coaching brand even as an introvert. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to tell you how that works in this very video, and we're gonna get into it right now. Okay, so the first thing that you have to keep in mind, and what I always kind of like give people the side eye when they're saying this, I recognize that there are legitimate introverts in the world, but if we're being honest, I think some people who, say this to me, or they're like, oh, but I'm not an extrovert, therefore I can't build my brand. I think some people are confusing being introverted with being insecure. The two are not the same. Just because you are an introvert doesn't mean you are insecure. You actually might be an extrovert who's just insecure, or maybe you're an introvert who's insecure, but insecurity is your issue, not your introversion, right? So I would ask myself, is it something where I just don't feel confident about being on camera, or am I legitimately talking about my actual disposition to other people? Because we have to understand that to be an introvert just means that you get your energy from yourself, and that being around a lot of people tends to drain you. And being an extrovert means that you get a lot of energy from being around people, and it kind of, jazzes you up and keeps you going, right? So there's this idea that, oh, if you're an extrovert, it's easier to build your business online. But think about it. As I'm talking to you right here, it's just me in the camera, right? Like whether I'm an extrovert or an introvert, I can't interact with you on the other side of a pre-recorded video. So to say, oh, I can't show up online or I can't show up on a video because I'm introverted really doesn't make any sense, because to be introverted means that you, don't get a lot of energy from being around people. It kind of takes the energy away from you, but you're just by yourself shooting a video. So how does being alone not fit into your introversion? So this is what I'm saying. The issue might be that you actually feel insecure about showing up online, and particularly showing up on camera. And so if that is the case for you, you can check out this video right here where I talk to you about how you can overcome your camera shyness and how you can get better at showing up on camera. So we wanna get clear, is this really an introvert issue? Or is this really an insecurity issue? Because if you are insecure, that is the issue that we need to overcome. It really has nothing to do with whether you are introverted or not. All right, so after you have gone through, the true definition of introversion, and you've defined it, and you're like, okay, my issue is not insecurity, I'm just genuinely an introvert, and I'm not sure how to show up online, you want to start looking at social media platforms that match your energy. And so what I mean by that is there are some platforms that I feel are better suited for being an extrovert, and there are some platforms that are better suited for being an introvert. Part of this, again, goes back to the definition of introvert versus extrovert, which is all about where do you get your energy from. So if you get your energy from people, meaning you are an extrovert, and yes, I am an extrovert, then some of your favorite platforms are probably platforms where there's a live engagement element. And so for me, I love a good live stream, right? This is part of the reason why I really enjoy Instagram, because it's very easy for me to, open up my phone, turn on the live stream, and talk to people in real time. I love the engagement. I love posting on my stories and chatting back and forth with people because I get energy from people. And so that platform works for me. However, if I were an introvert, and I don't get energy from people, right? Giving too much energy to others, if it took my energy away, then I would focus on mediums where I could pre-record content, or I could create content in advance and have it scheduled out after the fact. That way I am preserving my energy. But you see how this has nothing to do with actually showing up. So a platform like YouTube might actually be a great platform for an introverted person, because you don't have to do live engagement if you don't want to. Now granted, on YouTube you can also do live streams and all of that, but if you're a more introverted person, you actually don't want to be engaging with a lot of people online, why not just pre-record your videos and then have them scheduled out, and then there you go. You don't necessarily have to deal with the interaction until you're ready and you can muster up the energy to do that. But in the actual content creation, you are not engaging with other people, and so it should preserve your energy. Same thing for other platforms, maybe like LinkedIn. Maybe you're more of a writer, and so you like to write your words, and so you can use LinkedIn, you can use platforms like Medium, maybe Twitter is your space. Again, there is no right or wrong place to be. You really want to choose a social media platform that is in alignment with your communication style, and if you are a natural introvert, make sure that you are using platforms that really match your natural energy. All right, the third thing to keep in mind when building your brand as an introvert is that you truly want to be yourself. So one of the biggest mistakes that I see genuine introverts make is that they try to fake extroversion, right? They try to be big and grand and happy and, you know, high energy and all of the things to try to mimic extroverted people, because they think that that is what is necessary to be successful online, or really to be successful in any public-facing career. But nothing could be further from the truth. And in fact, when I think of someone who is a great example of this, I think about the music artist Sade. I love Sade, right? I think about her song Smooth Operator or Love is Stronger Than Pride. Such amazing songs. She has been around for like decades, right? My mom, you know, when she was in her 20s was listening to Sade, and so, you know, I listen to her even now. So Sade has had a very, very long career. Now, I don't know Sade, but she strikes me as someone who has more of an introverted energy. But you know what? She is herself and she leans into that. Sade has this kind of like mysteriousness to her, even how she fashions herself with like the sleek ponytail and the minimal makeup, and all of her branding is kind of this like shrouded in mystery a little bit. She's playing into her natural introverted type characteristics. And so when you're building your brand, you can be successful as an introvert, but you just want to make sure that your brand is in alignment with your actual energy, which goes back to what we talked about in the previous point, how you want to choose social media platforms that match your energy. Well, you want to build a brand that matches your energy too, and you do that by being yourself. So don't try to fake it and be something that you're not. If you're introverted, if you're quiet, if you naturally have a quiet spirit about you, make sure that you are reflecting that in how you show up online, and that your brand matches that, and you will authentically attract people who like not only what you have to offer, but the way you have to offer it. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. Are you introverted or extroverted? Share in the comments below. All right, the next thing you'll want to do is you want to use your introversion to your advantage, and there's two ways that you can do this. The first way is you really want to take advantage of exclusivity. So here's the thing. We talked about the true definition of introversion, and it's really about where you get your energy from. And so if people drain you, you know, you're an introvert, you need time by yourself, and you don't want to be around a lot of people all the time, by definition, you have an advantage, because that makes your coaching services and even your very presence online very, very exclusive. So instead of thinking about how you can be everywhere all the time, think about how you can play into that and use your natural energy to create more exclusivity around your coaching programs and around your branding. So if you do this and people really love what you have to offer, and they know you're kind of an introvert and that you only show up at this time, or that you only open your coaching program at a certain time, it creates a natural sense of scarcity and exclusivity where people will be more motivated to join you or to show up when you do open something, because you are such an introverted person. So use it to your advantage and kind of play into human nature, where people want to be a part of something that's maybe a small group, where, you know, it's only a tight-knit circle and you only allow so many people to join at a certain time, or you only open your programs or your enrollment at a certain time. Use your introversion to your advantage. And so exclusivity is one way that you can do that. The other way that you can use introversion to your advantage is to focus on building your back end. So again, we forget with all the social media stuff, there's two sides to every business, right? There's the front end and how you attract customers and the things you do to attract people to you, but then there's the back end as well. So all of those systems on the back end, you know, managing the content, making everything run, you actually might be very strong on the back end work because you are a natural introvert and you like to kind of be by yourself. Again, you don't want to be dealing with a lot of people all the time on social media. If that's the case for you, your business should have a very, very strong back end. And again, you can use that to your advantage, because I can't tell you how many extroverted coaches there are out here who are out here, you know, doing all the things. But when you are reaching out to them via customer service or you're joining programs, stuff is like falling behind the scenes in the back end because they don't have someone who can manage that, and they're not really interested in it because they're such a front-facing person. So, you know, if you don't have a team who can manage that back end for you, but you're a naturally introverted person, you can use many of the strategies that I just shared in this video to manage your front-facing so that it doesn't drain you, and then you can focus your attention on the back end and really get a leg up from the competition in that way. All right, if you enjoyed this video, you're actually gonna love my brand new coaching program, the Next Big Name Bootcamp, because it teaches you truly how to build an amazing coaching brand from A to Z, being who you are, not being anyone else. And so we go really, really in depth where there's like personality tests, there's all this super in-depth work on how to build a brand based on the person that you are. You don't have to pretend to be anybody else, and how you can take who you are and blow it up into an amazing brand that people cannot wait to work with you. And so if that's something that you want to learn more about, you can click the link below to learn more details of the program and apply if you're interested. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you loved it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you can't wait to my next video, make sure that you are subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure that you are following me on Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on Instagram, where I post every day, sometimes twice a day, as well as the behind the scenes of my life on my story. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.